Yes. Welcome to Guide to the Guide, episode 9, the whole general sort of mishmash, part 1. This is my guest.
I am Megamon66. You might find one of my videos, you might not.
This being the whole general sort of mishmash, we're pretty much going to do random rants, and today's topic on our minds is
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay, first of all, first thought. The first original series was great. I know fans of the game are not going to like the whole cards being summoned just randomly. It's fine, it's good. Eric?
It had a great storyline too. Joey, you can understand why Joey really needs to go. His sister needed a very important eye operation, but with Yugi, or Yami as you want to call him, because he was there most of the time.
Yeah.
He went there because a guy on a videotape told him to go.
Now notice, I didn't understand the whole logic of your soul being trapped on a VHS. Granted, ingenious idea, it's hilarious every time I watch it, but it just doesn't make any sense. And I also have yogurt.
And I have banana nut muffins. And then once we get to the finals, we get to the epic battle where we find out about Relinquish and Summon and Ritual Monsters, which completely reinvented the entire card game. But then we went into Season 2. It was good. It was good.
Now when Season 2 started, we were introduced to a brand new tournament in Domino City, set forth by Seto Kaiba. Now we're bringing in new characters, bringing in Merrick, we're bringing in other Egyptian characters, which basically brings in the whole Millennium Item aspect.
And then the dual discs.
Now those were great. Now I know. Now we know. Dual discs appeared in the first season during the whole Seto Kaiba Joey battle. Those were horrible. You're spinning a disc on the floor. It sucks.
After Season 2 is when the whole thing started to go downhill.
Now we're gonna go into the God cards. Granted, God cards are powerful as shit, they're hard to summon, and most of them don't really make any sense.
But they give them away in every single 10-pack for $20. Anybody can get them. It takes away the entire fact that they're rare.
Now we're gonna go into character plot. Now, we introduced new characters in the 3rd season, which by now is like filled with like mystic dragons and stuff and seals of orichalcos as they're called. But anyway, we're introducing characters with deck-specific characters, which were pretty cool. There was like, I think there was Amazons, Guardians, Machines. They were all cool. But yeah, Yugi using
I like the machines.
Of course everybody likes machines. Now using Yugi's original deck with the 3 extra cards would win every time. I never understood that. Like, somebody beat him for God's sake. Alright, go.
Okay. Moving on to even further in the future, past the God cards, we get to GX, which completely got rid of everything you loved and brought in more stuff for you to love. It was a good series. But then it started going the same way with the God cards. Again, it started making the exact same mistakes of the original series made.
I know, it's good quote. The original God cards and these new ones almost look exactly the same. There's a red one, a yellow one, and a blue one. Although, they do have better effects, you gotta admit. Oh, and there's this weird thing that keeps happening in each episode. Jaden has like an inner monologue with his cards. When have you ever seen Yugi have a monologue with his cards except for like Karibo, honestly?
Now, I'm a fan of inner monologues, so I can't really object to this. Best monologues I've ever seen are Rorschach from Watchmen. That guy can kill you with an interior monologue. But this is just a little ridiculous.
Well, and then we start moving on in the series. Everybody starts getting promoted. Things start happening. Slifer, Red. It's an okay dorm now. It's not filled with roaches like in the original couple of opener episodes. And Crowler, still a perv.
Hey, I didn't entirely watch the entire series. Was the Blue Dorm still full of douches by the end of the series?
Of course, but like, come on, this Shad got cool with his ojamas.
No, he was wearing black. That was cool.
You don't mess with ojamas. Hear that, YouTube? You don't mess with ojamas.
Don't want to see any YouTube poop videos with ojamas either.
I would.
He would, I wouldn't.
Send them to me, dude. I'm open to all comments. Send them to me. Oh. Just so you know, this is during lunch at our school. It's pretty cool.
And then now we get to the ultimate offender of the Yu-Gi-Oh series,
5Ds.
This is the Dragon Ball evolution of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know. In its defense, it has the coolest main character in the series. Yusei Fudo. He is awesome. He's an orphan who raised himself, made his own bike out of random crap he finds. And like he's like part of this whole Destiny thing. I don't know, they all have that whole Destiny spiel.
I'm gonna say that a great story is built around a great solid character.
And Yusei is that character.
But was this the great story that we were all looking for?
Not really.
Exactly.
Notice, you ride on motorcycles while you duel. Granted, I thought that would have been cool. I mean, adding a new set of rules like speed spells. That's cool in the show. Notice in the real world, we don't have those cars. We can't ride motorcycles while we're dueling. And frankly, it breaks the laws of physics. I guarantee you see a regular motorist, he fucking texts on his phone, he's gonna get into a 5-car pileup. Okay, new topic. We're gonna bring up Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Now, theme songs, we're gonna say right now that Orange Islands was the best theme song. Just because it was the most epic.
Yeah. It's not the first. The first one was just so nice. It was introducing the character, but this one really puts you out in the spotlight and asks you, so you want to be a master?
A Pokemon.
You have the skills to be.
Number 1. Now we're gonna talk about the Pokemon. Now, in the original 150, they were all good. They were all good.
Original Pokemon, Beedrill, Butterfree, Ivysaur, Venusaur, all those guys were great. Mew and Mewtwo were cool, really interesting characters that had a very interesting storyline of clones and awesome destinies and also an awesome Mewtwo returns I didn't even know existed.
You cannot mock Slowpoke. I'm a Slowpoke fan. I use them in my battles. I will never leave one behind.
And then once we get to Gold and Silver, best games of the series, introduces a decent 100 Pokemon, bringing the total count to 251. That is when it was the best. That was at the prime. That was at the prime of the series. But then Ruby and Sapphire introduced another 150. Or was it just 100?
No, it was like 40 something.
Another 40 something, bringing the count up to over 300.
Now by this, there are some Pokemon in the game that should not exist and should be destroyed. Licky, Mimoswine, the most hated Pokemon in the entire game. I swear this thing should die. Bibrial. 1, it's not original, it's an effing beaver. A Pokemon should not be a beaver. A mouse, I understand. A big rat, I understand.
A pig mixed with a bulldog.
That's awesome. A giant dragon.
Epic.
Granted, there's 3 of them. Rayquaza, Salamence, and Flagon. Okay, notice that in Diamond and Pearl, they introduced God. We're talking about Arceus. Now, we're talking about the original Dragon Ball, where Goku is a child. That series was great, it was hilarious, it was full of funny jokes.
And Krillin was a douchebag. Genius ways through training. And he shaved his head because he thought Master Roshi didn't.
Now notice, Master Roshi is the most epic perv ever. All you Narutards, go away with your Jiraiya. Master Roshi is the ultimate perv. He rides a turtle, not a frog, a turtle. And it talks.
That's all you need.
And notice, I'm going to go into another mode now.
Steam Boy!
This is the anger. I'm going to let all my frustrations out on every anime I've ever known. Okay, first of all, we're gonna kill 4 kids for every bad thing they've done to anime. It's horrible, it sucks, I hate it. Pokemon was ruined. In America, they changed rice balls to donuts. Now we're gonna talk about the Dragon Ball Z fanboys. If your series has gone downhill, let it die. Don't let them make a movie about it that's gonna suck for 2.5 hours. Now we're gonna move on to the Yu-Gi-Oh movie. The acting was awesome. It had horrible plot lines, but it was still okay. Now we're gonna bring up Death Note. Don't fuck with the Death Note. I have 3 of them. I know how to use them. This concludes the anger segment. This concludes the anger segment.
And since we're running out of time,
Damn
since we are out of time, we're gonna have to see you some other time for the whole general sort of mishmash, part 2, coming soon. Happy 42nd video YouTube. Keep my camera chicken.
No problem.